Hi Stampers, happy Friday. It is the start to another weekend. So I found this cute little thing at our local grocery outlet store. It was under $5. You can also hang it, or it's got an easel to stand it up. And it comes with a ton of the letters and numbers. I thought it was really cute, and there's different colors. I think there were like 3 different colors. There was a white one, and then one I think that was like a dark wood or something. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cute, and I had to snatch one up really quick because I thought it was perfect to do my host coat on in particular. So I'm just giving it a minute for people to get notified, and then we'll get started. Okay, so my name's Jana Williams. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And if you see anything today that suits your fancy and you would like to become one of my customers, if you aren't already, that is the address where you can shop. And then there's a place at checkout to put that host code. So yeah, if you spend under $150, please put that host code in there. All right, shall we get started? Move that out of the way. So the stamp set that I'm using today and the dies, there are matching coordinating dies. It's called the Welcoming Window, and it is a photopolymer stamp set. So there are lots of stamps. There's 19 stamps in this set. And then it has a fun matching die set that has elements in here that are not in the stamp set. It's got a different window, and the closing shutters, it has a different shelf there. And what else? I think all of the rest of these cut out. Oh, it's got the hinges. And then everything else cuts out elements that are in the stamp set. Okay, I'm also going to use sentiments from the Very Versailles stamp set. This is a really pretty stamp set, and I love the this background writing stamp here. This is a red rubber cling mount stamp set, and I am using the brick and mortar embossing folder. And then I'm going to use some bling. All right, I think we can get going here. So I've got a piece of white here, and the first thing I'm going to do is a bunch of stamping. So let me just get going. I'm going to stamp the window. Oopsie. I need to lay this down and then pick it up with the block. Otherwise, when you try to lay these photopolymer stamps, sometimes that have openings in them, onto your block, they get wonky. So it's easiest if you lay them down and then pick them up with your block. So I'm going to stamp the window out with soft suede. And we'll just put that right there. I love this window design. It's the kind that has that beveled glass in it, and it's just like old-fashioned, vintage-looking type window. All right, let me get my scrubber ready here because I'm going to need to be stamping and scrubbing, and I will just set this to the side there. Okay. And then I'm also going to stamp the shutters. Thanks for joining me. Don't be bashful. Please say hello and tell me where you're watching from. Okay, so I am going to stamp the shutters in Pacific Point. Make sure I get enough ink on these. I think this is a distinctive stamp set. It doesn't say that on there, but I'm pretty sure it is. It's got all the texture and stuff on it. Oopsie, I think I might have stamped those too close together. Hopefully not. Okay. I didn't get that quite cleaned off good enough. All right, so what else do I need? I need there's several flower pots in here, plus the pitcher. I love that pitcher because it's so close to, I had a custom stamp made of my dad's brand. My last name, my maiden name was Pitcher. And so my dad, he was a cowboy, and yeah, he had this brand made of the pitcher to brand cattle with. So I had a custom stamp made with the pitcher, and it's just really close to the pitcher in the stamp set. So that was another reason why I wanted this stamp set. Anyway, I'm going to use this shorter flower pot. And let me just get a smaller block. Meant to grab that before I went live here. Okay. So I will put this color up and grab terracotta tile. All right, let me just, I think I will put this one right there. And then I need this one. This is a fun set because you just, it's like scene building to me. You get all these different parts and pieces to put your picture together. And since it's mostly, well, it is all solid stamping, you don't have to go back and color, which is fun. So there is that. I particularly love putting these flowers together. It's like a puzzle because you have the leaf stamp, and there's two different flower bouquets, and then the flowers go in the openings, And I kind of wanted these to look like poppies. So I'm going with Poppy Parade. And you have to turn this just right, and they fit perfectly in there. Okay, now I'm seeing it. All right, they're gonna go just like this. And I'm not right over the top of it, so I hope that I'm getting it right. How cute is that? I love that. Hi, Nancy. Thanks for sharing. Okay. So, is there any other elements that I'm going to need to cut out this one time? I think I've stamped everything except the greeting. So I think I'm good with that. And I have a little piece of the soft suede here that I'm going to cut out the shelf from the dies. So let me clear some of this stuff out of the way. And we'll bring in the dies. Okay, so I want the shelf on there. And then the window. I'm just trying to line it up as best as I can here. Well, I don't want to overlap into where those flowers are. Okay, so let me do that one. Oopsie. And these dies snug up pretty close to the design of what you're cutting out. And I love that they give you two for the shutters, two dies. So you can cut them both out at the same time. And they're not exactly straight edges, so I guess you just turn them to whatever looks the best. The door or the window's kind of that way too. It's just like they're hand drawn, so you just put them on there whichever way they kind of look best to you. And I did it this way so I can cut them with one pass through my machine. And that makes it much faster. And the flower pot. All right, let me just cut these real quick and I'll be right back. Okay, hopefully nothing shifted. Looks like everything made it through okay. These are those kinds of things that always feels like playing paper dolls to me, when you get to put all these different things together and build a scene or whatever, and just kind of fun. Okay, now that one I'm going to leave the dye on for a minute, because I'm going to bring in Pool Party. And I need my brush, my blending brush. And I'm just going to use Pool Party as a bit of a mask. I mean, not Pool Party, the dye. Okay, let me get it back on here. And I'm just going to lightly come in with some of this Pool Party color to put a little color to make it look like glass. And I wanted it to kind of look like old-fashioned glass, since this looks like an old-fashioned window to me, that beveled looking glass. And I don't want it too dark, I just want a little bit of color. And I'm not even worried about it being like evenly colored in there. I just want a little bit of color. Good enough. Now I want to wipe this off so I don't have ink on my dye. Okay. And as usual, I stuck my finger in an ink pad. It wouldn't be a normal stamping session for me if I didn't do that at least once. I know, Nancy, I've just started to play with this set. I've used this shelf from it before, but as far as the rest of it, I'm just starting to play with it. Okay, so now I've got the brick and mortar, isn't this cool? The brick and mortar embossing folder. And I've got a piece of white that I'm going to put in here. So the side that has, let me see here. Yeah, I think it's the side that has the Stampin' Up. That is what's going to, that's what's going to be the raised side of your embossed image. So if you were wanting to ink your paper or your embossing folder, I'm pretty positive it is the side that has the Stampin' Up logo that you would ink. but in this case, I'm going to do some inking after I emboss it. So I'm just going to run this through my machine real quick. So there is that. Pretty cool. I love embossing. Okay, so now I have another blending brush and I am going to use, do I want smoky slate? I think I'm going to do smoky slate. Let me get my inky paper back up here. And I'm just going to lightly ink up my blending brush. I am going to do this just super light because really all I want to do is give it a little bit of definition around the bricks. I'm not wanting to color my paper because I wanted it to look like a white wall, a white brick wall. But unless a white brick wall has just been painted, it's going to have some different color on it, just from weather and wear. Now I did my first card a little bit different. I used a different color and I'll show you at the end. I wasn't exactly pleased with the color I chose. So that's why I decided to go with gray this time. And can you see how it's defining the bricks just a little bit more? I don't know if that's showing up or not. But I'm using this so light because, like I said, I'm not looking to change the white color of my cardstock. I just want those bricks to be outlined a little bit. Make it look a little bit distressed. Now that my brush is a little bit drier, I am putting a little bit more pressure on it here to get a little bit of the images that are more debossed. Okay, I'm trying to hold it out of the light so I can see if that makes me happy. Can you tell the difference? Hi, Rosie. I love you lots too. Okay. I'm gonna do just a little bit more, I think. Okay. I think we're gonna call that good now. And I think before I start putting all of this together, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment. And I'm going to use this "Always Thinking of You." And then I want to do, oh, I've already got it on a block. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on the inside too. So I am using shaded spruce, which is the same color as the foliage part of the flowers. Oh, I need to stand up so I can kind of get in the middle here. I don't know if I will be able to get right in the middle, but I'm going to try. Can't see what I'm doing. We'll just go with that. I didn't do too bad. All right, while I have out that green, let me pull my inside piece in here. And I want, let's see, I think actually I should stamp this shelf first. So let me get that. So this is the shelf that's in the stamp set. It doesn't have the braces like, see, like the one that die cuts has those little supports or braces. This is just like a rough cut piece of wood. And I'll use my soft suede again. I'm just going to stamp this a little bit down here at the bottom for somewhere for my flower pot to sit on. We don't want it floating in the air. Sorry, I don't mean to keep knocking you guys around. I keep hitting my phone. Okay, so now we need this piece again. Oh, and we need the flower pot. So I better do that first. So I've just got that terracotta tile again, and I am going to stamp it right there. And now I better ink that up again. Let's get this. There we go. Too cute. And what did I do with my... Okay, am I blind? Oh, here it is. I'm like, it's so big. How can I not see it? My stamp cleaner. All right. There is that. And there is that. And we need those pretty poppies again. I'll get rid of this green and bring back in the Poppy Parade. And these are going to go right here. So cute. I love that. There's just something satisfying about stamping those flowers where they go inside the green. I don't know. I know I'm a weirdo. It's just fun. All right. So I think I should not have put my green away because I'm going to stamp Have a Beautiful Day. If I can get it out of the case. All right. Have a beautiful day. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. Oh, well. We'll just pretend that it's not. It's handmade after all. Please forgive me. All right, I think I can start putting this together now. Oh, I need to trim this. Okay, let me just trim a little bit off each side because I need to make it a 1/2 inch so that it will fit in my punch. I don't want to cut off any of my letters, so I might have to turn it around again and do it again. I can't tell if that's straight. Maybe it's easier if I bring it down here and I can see the lines on each side. Oh, I don't know. Sorry, I'm just trying to get this. Okay, I'm not sure. All right, does that measure a 1/2 inch now? Where's my 1/2 inch? Right there. Nope, I still need to cut just a little bit. Come on, quit sticking to my fingers. Okay, so I'm going to use the Lovely Labels punch, and I'm just going to slide it in there. So the smallest slot there, you can punch 3 different sizes, and there's 2 different shapes of labels. The smallest slot in the bottom is a 1/2 inch. The next size is 3/4 and then 1 inch. So you can make 3 different widths of your label, and then they all come out with a little bit different shape on the ends. So let me hold it up so you can kind of see the different shapes. All right, so that's ready. All right, let's make this card. So I have a soft suede card base, And it's just our standard 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And I'll go ahead and put the inside in. So this next week, our new mini catalog goes into effect on Tuesday. So I think I might have to come on and do a little walkthrough of the catalog. That might be kind of fun. And even though I showed some of the products when I first got them, if you missed out on that, I can, as I go through the catalog, I can show those products again. All right, I can put this piece on, and this is a piece of Poppy Parade to coordinate with the flowers that I stamped. And this is just going to be our next layer here. All right, I like how the wall turned out. I'm happy with that this time. Okay, so the window, let me get my glue. I'll bring that in case I need it. All right, so I'm just going to glue the window and the shutters flat. And I'm going to put it right about there. Let me get that on a line on my grid sheet so I can see if I'm getting things semi-straight. And then next we need the shutters. So let's see here. I'm going to do that one like that. Now, if you wanted to get really crazy, you could take an X-Acto and cut the glass out and put in some curtains behind that window if you wanted. Now, I'm not going to be that crazy, but I'm just saying you could do that if you wanted. All right, so I'm going to pop up the little shelf. So let me just bring in, I like my adhesive to go pretty much the full length of the shelf. That's a little bit wide. So let's use this one, and your edge pieces are just so good for this kind of thing. Maybe right about there. Oopsie. All right. And we'll just pop that right on there. But before I stick it, I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here on the supports or the braces or whatever you want to call them, because those I want to go down, because we can't have those just hanging down. They need to be attached to the wall. Look at this. Okay, let me hold those down for just a second here. And now let's put these flowers in the pot. So I'm just going to run a little thin line of glue right here at the top of the flower pot. And stick here. Let me do this. And we're going to put dimensionals on here, and you don't want to put them down on the bottom of the flower pot there because that needs to be sitting on the shelf. And since the shelf is already popped up, if you put a dimensional here, it's going to pop up the flower pot higher than where the flowers are. So we'll just put a little bit of glue down there so that it doesn't pop up off the shelf. So we are going to set our pot of flowers right about like that. So cute. Okay, let's put this on the front of the card. It's pretty easy, isn't it, Nancy? It just all comes together really in no time because there's not really any, it's those solid stamps just make it so fast. And you could build so many different scenes with this set. It's just a lot of fun. Okay, so there is that. And then we'll get the greeting here. And I want to put enough dimensionals on it that it doesn't, because it's long and skinny, you don't want it to get droopy in between where you put your dimensionals. So you can cut an edge piece off of your dimensionals too and do like I did with the shelf. All right. And this is going to hang over the wall, the white wall, just a little bit, which I kind of liked. So I need to make sure it's straight and in place before I stick it down all the way. Let me see how that looks. That looks pretty good. Okay, now we need bling, of course. And I'm going to use the Elegant Faceted Gems. And these are the ones that have clear, and can you see the design, the way they're cut? These are clear, these are kind of a champagne, I would say, and then white. And I'm going to use the clear. Where's my take your pick tool? Here it is. All right, so I'm going to pop a little one right here in the middle of this pane of glass. I have a glass ball hanging down in the middle of my living room window, so I pop that there, kind of like I have my glass ball. And then I'm just going to take one of the big ones and put in the middle there, and another one there. And this card is done. Thank you. Thanks, Nancy. All right, I want to show you the first one I made because, like I said, I tried to go a different way with the color that I put on the background, and there I think you can tell. I used very lightly Cajun Craze because I wanted it sort of to look like white had been painted over a, you know, natural brick, the red brick. That's kind of what I wanted, or I wanted red brick to be peeking through here and there. But instead it just sort of came out looking pink. So I wasn't too excited about that. So that's why I decided to go ahead and do the gray on this one. And I definitely like it better. Because when I look at that, I just kind of see pink. And my intention was not for a pink wall. The other thing I did on this one is I took Wink of Stella and I flicked it from the cap just onto the bouquet there, the flowers. And these colors are so dark and intense that Wink of Stella was trying to want to bleed the color a little bit. You can specifically see it right there. And I was being careful to not let it glob too much, but still, I decided not to do it on this one because I didn't want that to happen. And then inside, I actually got that sentiment a little bit crooked. It's almost the same amount of crookedness. So either I just don't have it straight, or the stamp, maybe the label on the stamp is not quite straight. But yeah, so, and I stamped it in the blue, and then I was wishing I would have just stamped it in the green. So there you go. I think it's a fun card, and I know that's a little bit crooked, but we'll just ignore it. Oh. So anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today, and let me bring back in my post code again and the address to my store. And like I said, I will, if I have the opportunity, I will pop on live Tuesday. So make sure that you have your notifications set both here and for those of you that are watching the replay. Well, if you're watching the replay on YouTube, you already know it's there. So yeah, have your notifications set so you will be notified when I go live on Tuesday, since I don't have an exact time to give you for when that will happen. And I'll do a little walkthrough of the catalog. And then I'll be back again next Friday. All right, have a great weekend. I miss you too, Rosie. Have a great weekend, you guys, and happy stamping. See you next time. Bye-bye.